On May 8th, 2019, police received a call about a missing 15-year-old girl named Riley Crossman. When officers arrived at the house, they were greeted by Riley's mother, Chantel Oakley, and her boyfriend, Andy Macaulay.
She's not back yet? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom? Has she ever disappeared before?
She didn't leave without permission. She doesn't not text me when I text her.
What does she normally take with her when she leaves?
Her bag, her phone.
Her phone's not in here.
Not that I've found.
She's gonna talk to you with that mom around. Arguing here last night, or the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
This rumor going around, people telling us that she's afraid to come home.
This is the moment Andy Macaulay realized police were on his trail. Just hours earlier, his girlfriend's daughter, Riley Crossman, suddenly went radio silent, and police were quickly called to come and investigate. At first glance, it looked just like a messy teenager's bedroom with nothing out of the ordinary. But as the officers scoured through the clutter, unsettling details began to emerge.
That's the book bag Debbie said she wore, but she said the kids already went through everything.
They would find items that a teenager might typically take if they were planning to run away, but as they begin to look even more, they start to notice blood. Blood was on her sheet, and more was found on her comforter. The cops were now certain that foul play had occurred, and something terrible happened to Riley.
At that point, police no longer believed this was just a runaway case. They suspected something violent had happened inside that bedroom. And from there, attention slowly began turning toward one specific person, Andy Macaulay.
What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a while.
Any word? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom? Has she ever disappeared before?
She didn't leave without permission. She doesn't not text me when I text her. This is the only mirror we have like this, so I came in yesterday morning, and I don't remember that being there. And especially her glasses, because this is not exactly the way it was. I've been in here digging and looking to see if there was a note or anything like that.
According to Riley's mother, this was unlike her, and she wasn't one to run off without telling anyone. A quick search of her room revealed that her belongings were untouched, except her bed, which was covered in bloodstains. This was highly suspicious, so officers quickly took a sample and sent it off for DNA testing. But for now, officers need to gather as much information as possible from people who last saw Riley, so they decide to question Andy about his whereabouts that day.
I'm gonna talk to you with that mom around. Arguing here last night, or the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
This rumor going around, people telling us that she's afraid to come home. I don't know if that's, you know how people go sometimes, but
That was nothing like that.
okay. So,
She wouldn't have to be her. I mean, they're right. They ain't like that. It's never like that.
this is nothing.
Yeah. Her mom wasn't even home.
Right.
She was at work.
No, you. They said that she got an argument
No,
with you and,
no.
and didn't want to come home.
No.
So, I don't know.
She was her grandma. You can ask her grandma. She was here doing dishes and everything. Her grandma was here till 7:30.
Okay.
Debbie.
Right.
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw her?
About 9, maybe 10ish.
At night?
Yeah.
And what context was that?
Oh, she was here in the house. She went to bed probably. Well, I don't know what time she went to bed, but she was. All the kids were in the room by like 9:30.
Did she leave in the morning?
No, I left at 4. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That was 5.
Okay.
Go to work.
Andy claimed he left for work early in the morning and stayed there all day. The problem? His co-workers told a completely different story. One co-worker explained that Andy normally struggled to wake up in the mornings and had to be called repeatedly.
I'll call him and see if he's up. So that morning, do you remember if you called him or he called you? Wednesday morning. I want to say he called.
But then investigators learned something even worse. Andy had actually disappeared from work for almost 5 hours that day. And during those missing hours, nobody could properly account for where he had gone.
And he gets back at roughly 2:45.
So he was going a while. It was 4, almost 5 hours.
because of this, detectives now know that Andy hasn't been completely honest with them so far, at least about staying at work the full day. This is very clearly a red flag and means that he's trying to hide something from them. But Andy might not be the only one hiding something.
Meanwhile, police also began looking into Riley's boyfriend, Hayden. And this ended up becoming one of the biggest turning points in the entire case. Hayden told investigators that he and Riley usually FaceTimed almost every night. But after Riley disappeared, he deleted their messages.
Can you just tell us when you were last FaceTiming?
I was actually talking to her about the DC trip that was going on.
And do you know exactly what time?
10:30-ish.
On the night of Riley's disappearance, it just so happened that Hayden deleted all his messages with Riley because he did not want his mother seeing them. This is why detectives could tell that Hayden knows something, but because of his mother's defensiveness, he's unable to speak his mind.
I told him before not to delete his messages, but he isn't having it, deleting everything.
What do you know about her mom or mom's lifestyle? Or what their relationship?
I don't really know what's going on.
I feel like she just isn't a responsible person. She'll just let her do whatever she wants. They had a dance, and she was wearing this short dress. She let her walk to the school by herself in this short dress. It's at night. Riley had way too much freedom.
Eventually, Hayden came forward with text messages Riley had sent him the night before she vanished. And those messages were terrifying. According to Riley, Andy had entered her room. She told Hayden she was scared.
Immediately, all suspicion was further confirmed around Andy, and officers would later use this information to piece together this dark puzzle. But for now, finding out Andy's actual whereabouts and what really happened during the 5 hours that Riley was missing is crucial to the investigation, and the reason why Andy would be called in for questioning.
I just talked to Johnny, right? We saw him leaving. Okay. Would you be surprised if you told me something completely different?
Maybe.
Do you not remember leaving that job site and going to Red Hill?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We did go to. It did. I'm sorry. We did. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. We did go to and did a shelf.
How long were you there at Red Hill?
Like the rest of the day.
Okay.
Like the rest of the day.
Okay. Were you at that house the entire time, fixing the shelves?
No.
Okay. Where were you at?
I was at the other house.
Okay.
I went and got some. I went and got some more drugs.
If Andy was off doing illegal drugs during those 5 missing hours, then that could possibly explain why he didn't initially tell the cops the truth about where he had been all day. But this also could just be his way of trying to distract the police by bringing their attention to something else. At this point, detectives know that Andy is desperate to give them an alternate alibi, and his drug story could possibly be true. So to cross-check, they would call in Johnny again. Johnny had a history of drug use, and the two would often do cocaine together, so he can easily substantiate or discredit Andy's account.
Would you say that there was enough to still do another line each? Oh yeah. A couple lines each? Oh yeah. Okay. So you wouldn't have to, you didn't need any more coke? No.
Then he claimed he went to another property. Then he changed the story again and said he left to buy drugs. And every time detectives pushed him harder, his explanation became less believable. The investigators could tell he was desperately trying to create an alibi, but the lies kept stacking up.
What if I told you that I know you weren't investing in coke, and you didn't buy drugs off anybody that day? See where I'm getting at? We went from this story to this story, now we're gonna get a third story. This is one of these times you really need to think of what you're telling me, okay? Because you're not being honest. Remember I told you about being honest and I'm not gonna just throw shit at you? I know you weren't there. I know you didn't buy drugs off your cousin, and I know you didn't use them in that parking lot that day. Where did you go when you left?
Went to my house to get the drugs.
Okay.
I already had them in my house.
Okay.
I already told Chantel. I still want to tell you I had them in my house.
So you go back home, you use your drugs, and then you go back to work, and then what?
Considering the discrepancies in each version of the story he tells officers, there is more than enough reason for officers to not trust Andy, like they would express.
I'm just telling you the whole part about you being honest.
I'm being honest with you. I've been honest with you. I told you shit that I didn't even want to tell you.
you're being somewhat honest. I mean, we're doing some polling to get some information about some drug activity, which to us, I don't even give two shits about. But yet we're having trouble pulling that out of you.
Because I was worried about it, because I out there.
Okay, and I told you I don't care about that.
I didn't say that.
You told us about the drug activity, what, 2 nights ago?
I did.
Did I arrest you for it?
You didn't or anything.
The main reason for detectives pressuring Andy like this is because a record of his movements is crucial for this investigation. Usually law enforcement